and welcome to my new series. It is a real Vermonter reviews Ben and Jerry's flavors. So, I originally for this one wanted to do half-baked, which is my favorite Ben and Jerry's flavor. However, the grocery store was out. So, I picked the next one on the shelf, and it happened to be chocolate fudge brownie, which I have not yet tried because it seemed a tad boring. It is simply chocolate ice cream with fudge brownies. So, I have let it thaw for a bit, which you have to do, especially with Ben and Jerry's because it's so rich. It freezes. It seems extra hard than other ice creams. But as is typical of Ben and Jerry's, the chocolate ice cream is amazing. And the brownies are super rich. And I'm not sure, we'll see as we go through this, how many brownies are in here. But they don't usually skim. So we'll see. But I wanted to entitle this a true Vermonter, or a real Vermonter, because not just anybody can be a Vermonter. I've heard this may seem a little strange because my husband is in the background, and I usually do these videos completely on my own. This is the first one I've done with another human being in the room. So it may seem a little bit odd. Anyway, so I've heard some people say you need 4 generations. Some people say you need 6 generations to be a real Vermonter. I have that plus some. So much so, my mother was so determined that we be Vermonters and be born in Vermont, even though technically I was raised in southern New Hampshire, that when she went into labor with my brother during a snowstorm in February, the ambulance that came to get her only went to the New Hampshire hospital, and she refused to go. And they took the ambulance to the center of town, where she switched to another ambulance mid-labor so that she could take the ambulance that would go to the hospital in Vermont. That's how determined she was that her children be born in this state. My grandparents were dairy farmers, which there's a reason there's a cow on our flag. It's, dairy farming is definitely a very important part of the history of Vermont. And if you have relatives that were dairy farmers, you can add a couple generations to your lineage. So it seems as though in this ice cream, the brownie seems to just kind of go through the middle. The rest seems to be just chocolate ice cream. I'm not saying it's bad. It's definitely good, but not as much brownie as I'd hoped. When my grandparents got married, as the story goes, They had $17 between the two of them. And there's several farms still in the area that my grandfather rented or leased or whatever you want to call it for his dairy operation, in various towns around here. So despite having grown up in New Hampshire, I do consider myself a real Vermonter. Now, there is a little bit more. There's a little bit more brownie in this. The ice cream is definitely typical Ben & Jerry's, super rich. Amazing. Though, in general, I'm a little bit disappointed in the amount of brownie, gotta say. Well, I'm going to continue eating this entire pint of ice cream tonight. As it is Friday night, it's been a long week, as all weeks tend to be. And a couple, 3 glasses of wine help to, in the decision to eat an entire pint of ice cream. So, I hope you have enjoyed my real Vermonter reviews, Ben & Jerry's flavors, and stay tuned for the next installment. Have a good one.